Now, science in a dictionary is defined as knowledge that is gained through observation or study. Things that we can know because we can see it, we can test it, and we can demonstrate it. Well, then I got a question. Is evolution actually part of science? Let's dig in and find out. Definition number 1 of evolution. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there are actually 6 different kinds of evolution. Yeah.
Oh shit, this crap again. Okay, Eric, let's hear your father's recycled bullshit.
Evolution isn't just one big happy little thing. It's divided up into 6 different sections. Check it out. First of all, we've got cosmic evolution. That would be the origin of time, space, and matter, referring to the Big Bang. Well, if science is things that we can see, test, and demonstrate, let's find out. Can we see, test, or demonstrate the Big Bang?
Yes, we can, actually. Have you bothered studying the origin of the theory that you're attacking? Let's have a look at it, shall we? In the early 20th century, Edwin Hubble looked out into space and observed the many galaxies out there. What he observed was that the light that emanated from those galaxies were of a reddish hue, meaning that the light waves were stretched. This is the Doppler effect. When a car approaches, the pitch becomes higher because the sound waves increase in frequency. As it passes, the pitch becomes lower because the oscillations happen at a lower frequency. The same principle applies to light, which is a different type of wave, but with a mathematically identical model. The stretching of the light indicates that the galaxies are getting farther away from us, and based on elements of the waves that included their wavelengths, propagations, and amplitudes, Hubble discovered that the galaxies moved away from us in a manner directly proportional to their distances from us. In other words, a galaxy twice as far away from us with respect to another galaxy is moving twice as fast. The universe is expanding. Combined with the cosmic background radiation that vindicates predictions made by the Big Bang model, we know that approximately 13 billion years ago, the universe expanded from a singularity.
No, we can't, can we? Now, you're welcome to believe in the Big Bang, but you got to understand, that is not part of science, because you can't see, test, or demonstrate it. How about this one? Chemical evolution. According to chemical evolution, all the elements that we have today evolved from just hydrogen and helium. You guys remember the periodic table of elements, right? How many of you in school had to memorize the periodic table of elements? Had to do that? How many of you forgot it 5 minutes after you took the quiz? Yep, just like me. Okay, me too. Okay. But you got this periodic table of elements. They say all those elements evolved from hydrogen and helium. Well, you're welcome to believe that that took place, but you can't know that.
Actually, we can. The process is called fusion. It's what powers our sun. In the early universe, gravity pulled hydrogen atoms together into very dense clumps. This is the nature of gravity. It attracts objects of mass together. As the density increases, so does the temperature. Eventually, the temperatures are high enough to allow for the process of quantum tunneling, which is, long story short, the mechanism that drives fusion. 2 hydrogen atoms fuse into a lighter helium atom, compensating for the lost mass by releasing energy at the ratio of the speed of light squared. The end result is essentially a hydrogen bomb, and is what powers our sun. As stars lose their hydrogen fuel, however, they begin to fuse heavier elements: helium, carbon, oxygen, and eventually iron. Once the star begins to fuse iron, however, it effectively commits suicide. The reactions become unstable, and the star, if it's large enough to get to this stage in its life, explodes in a spectacular cosmic firework called a supernova. Within the supernova, neutron capture reactions take place, and elements even heavier than iron are made. And this, Eric, is how hydrogen and helium atoms eventually create things like silver and gold. Stars are smelting furnaces for new elements. It's a well-understood principle that requires no faith whatsoever.
You can't see, test, or demonstrate that. So really, chemical evolution is not part of science. Welcome to believe in it, but don't call it science. How about stellar and planetary evolution? How all the stars and the planets formed? Let me ask you something. Do we ever see stars forming? No, we don't.
Actually, Eric, yes we have. We haven't seen the exact moment in which stars light up because the process takes millions of years. We have seen the various stages of a star's life using infrared telescopes to detect the energy levels within stars. That brings us back to your previous assertion that there is no evidence for chemical evolution. Well, as it happens, there is evidence. Different elements burn at different temperatures, and thus give off distinct heat signatures. We can tell what's going on in a star based on the different colors. So we know that the molecular cloud S106 has hydrogen being pulled into the center of the gas cloud, initiating the fusion reactions required to give birth to a star. Our Sun is proof that hydrogen naturally converts into helium through fusion. The star Mira is proof that as the hydrogen fuel is depleted, the star loses a significant amount of energy, causing its light to darken. We have many such examples of stars transitioning. Here are some stellar examples of transitional forms. Even though we've never witnessed a star switched on, we can deduce what happens based on the vast amount of evidence available.
Some people say, yeah, we saw star formation taking place. Well, really what they see sometimes is areas of the sky get brighter, and they think, that must mean a star formed there. No. We've actually never seen a star form, never witnessed that happen. What we do see is lots and lots of stars blowing up. Those are called novas or supernovas, and that happens about 1 every 30 years.
Actually, there are 1 billion supernova explosions every year. It's just that they only happen about twice a century in our galaxy.
Interestingly enough, we only see about 300 supernovas. Wow. Well, that wouldn't account for billions of years of stellar and planetary activity, would it?
What the fuck have you been smoking, Eric? The fact that we've observed only a few supernovae in the brief history of humanity does not topple one of the most well-established principles of cosmology.
You know, there's a lot of stars out there, a whole lot. Scientists estimate there are enough stars out in space so that every single person on planet Earth could own 11 trillion of them. You can have 11 trillion of your own stars. Go name them. Have fun. Enjoy. And by the way, those are only the ones that we know about. We don't know about the ones that we don't know about. That's a lot of stars out there. Now, you're welcome to believe that star formation is taking place, but you can't know that. It's a belief. It's not part of science. It doesn't fit over there with science, okay? And do you realize this? With all the stars that we have in the universe today, scientists say the estimated number right now is 70 sextillion. That's the number 70 followed by 21 zeros. Whoa is right. That is a lot of stars. And they say all those stars formed in 20 billion years? Wait a minute. Do the math on that with me. If 76 trillion stars formed in just 20 billion years, that would be the same as 3.5 trillion stars forming every single year. Or 6.5 million stars forming every single minute.
Someone clearly doesn't understand the history of the universe. Stars don't form at a constant rate. Most of the stars that we see today were formed billions of years ago. Most importantly, it takes thousands, even millions of years for the light of stars to reach us. A lot of the stars that you see at night aren't even there anymore, and all that you see is the light from thousands of years ago. We can't observe intergalactic events in real time. We're just too far away. The fact that you didn't take this into account reveals your utter disregard for rudimentary astrophysics.
Do we see 6.5 million stars forming every single minute? No. That would have to happen for 20 billion years to get the number of stars that we have in our universe today. How about this one? Organic evolution. The origin of life from non-life.
That's abiogenesis, Eric. That has nothing to do with evolution.
Do we ever see that happen? Have we ever seen something that is not alive actually come alive? You're like, yeah, in my refrigerator. No. That doesn't count, okay? I'm talking really a rock evolving into life.
No one claims that a rock evolves into life. That's ridiculous. That's like saying that clay can turn into a man or a rib can turn into a woman.
No, we've never seen that. Never tested. Actually, we've tried to test it. We've tried to demonstrate it, but science has come up with nothing.
Actually, science has come up with some results on the matter. The Miller-Urey experiment demonstrated that amino acids can come from simple chemicals available on primordial Earth, along with an electric charge. All that's needed now is to discover the mechanism by which they combine to form proteins. It's a field of research that's still in its infancy, but the mathematics make sense, and the hypothesis fits our observations of gradualism. Because I'm not an expert on the matter, I can't give you a full account of abiogenesis. However, the scientific community does not operate on faith. Abiogenesis is simply an incomplete theory, and should be left alone for the time being.
That does not belong on the science table. That is not part of science. The idea of life coming from non-life is a religious worldview. It is not at all a scientific worldview, okay? They really don't know how life originally evolved, how it came about, the abiogenesis. When did that actually take place, or how did it take place? They really don't have a clue. Then we've got one called macroevolution. Macroevolution would be changing from one kind of animal into another kind of animal. We've all seen this little diagram. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, humans evolved from the monkeys. Actually, now they don't say monkeys. They're very technical on this. They say primates. Monkeys evolved from primates, and we evolved from primates. But we split back at the primate phase. What's a primate? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. Taxonomical classification is crucial to a full understanding of this well-established scientific principle that you're so futilely attempting to debunk. So, Eric, a primate is an order of mammal that includes lemurs, monkeys, apes, orangutans, and humans. It is not a single animal. It is a classification of many animals that share unique features and an enormous amount of DNA to boot.
That's just when it happened. That way you can't say, well, how come monkeys are still living? So we evolved from primates, get it straight, okay? But we see these kind of things. Do we ever see macroevolution actually taking place?
Well, no, and for the same reason that we haven't seen stars light up. The process takes an enormous amount of time. Monkeys don't give birth to men because that's not what evolution is.
No. Now, there's a variety of dogs in the world today, but that's all they are, is varieties of dogs. The Chihuahua and the Great Dane are both very different, but they're both still, if you consider the Chihuahua a dog. Personally, I don't. But it's possible that the dog, the wolf, the coyote had a common ancestor. But I guarantee you it wasn't a banana.
What in the shit-stained asshole marked with the nipple milk bullshit are you talking about? No one claims that dogs are the descendants of bananas. Plants and animals are in completely different taxonomical kingdoms. Now, it's fair to say that they share a common ancestor, but that ancestor was microscopic.
Okay? We don't see macroevolution taking place. We don't ever see that happening. Let's take a little quiz here. Hey, I got on the screen here a dog, a wolf, a coyote, and a banana. Right there in the front row. Yep. Which one of those does not look like the others? The boy doesn't count. Dog, wolf, coyote, and banana. Which one is it? The banana! Give him a hand. Great job, great job. Smarter than the average scientist today, I'll have you know.
Smarter than the average scientist? You dickweed. Scientists devote their lives trying to understand the things that make your life so comfortable. They're the reason you even have a microphone to spread the shit that you're saying. Go back to school, Eric. Watching you mentally abuse yourself pains me. It truly does. And the saddest thing is, like most evangelical Christians, you think you're so damn smart, but the truth is you don't know shit. Humility is a good thing, Hovind. You ought to learn it sometime.